Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at that potential pattern change. How likely is it that we see cold air and potentially snowy conditions in the eastern United States? And if it does happen, when would it happen? All of the answers are in this video. Anyways, before I get into this video, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I am going to be traveling up until about Thursday, maybe into Friday for you guys, because Thursday morning's video will be a traveling video, but Friday is going to be back to normal. So the comment of the day thing is going to be a little bit jacked up this week, and I apologize for that. I know that lets a lot of people down when I do that, but unfortunately, we're probably just not going to be doing it for the earlier portion of this upcoming week. I'm making this video right after yesterday's video. It is 5:58 on Saturday morning, Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas again. We're looking at our one-day temperature anomaly. This is going to be for basically Christmas Eve day. And things got really warm, obviously. Huge ridge. I mean, this is insane. Really insane there. 2-day temperature anomalies. We're just going to take a blast from the past here since I'm already in the past. We can see that ridge was out here. Let's see the 5-day temperature anomalies. Things start to get averaged out the further along you go, obviously. And we did have a bit of a trough in the east over the past 5 days. It has been quite cool. So once we take a look at the 7-day period, not so much. A little bit of colder air here, but mostly a ridge there. 10-day, now we're starting to get really long range. More of a trough in the west. This has been really the pattern we've been in, I think, overall for the past, long while, since about December 1st, I would say. 14-day, 15-day. I don't know why there's a 14-day and a 15-day. 20-day, and then 30-day. This is going to tell the true story. Something like this. Yep, been mostly a ridge all December long. So when will things switch up? We're going to take a look here at our European model and see if we can get some of those answers we're looking for here. Okay, so we're taking a look here at our temperature anomalies, and this has been the trend. I mean, really like this. You can see a ton of Gulf air making its way up to these regions. This is what has been keeping things so warm, and then we see this cold air coming in behind it. And that is why these areas have been seeing historic snowfall, basically, and we'll continue to see that. And these areas have been left high and dry because of these temperatures, this wild temperature pattern we've been in. Now, this is by the time we're reaching approximately 2 a.m. on December 28th, so about 3 days from the time I'm recording this video, or 2 days from the time you're watching this video. Yeah, that's correct. We see a lot of cold air in this region. We see a lot of warmth in the east, especially the southeast, the Gulf states, and the south central United States. So mostly in here, actually. Very, very warm above normal. That's about 15 to 25 degrees above normal in those regions. So a significant departure in the above average direction. Now, let's see where things start to get interesting. See if it'll let us move ahead. Here we go. This is where things begin to get interesting. This is going to be 6 a.m. on December 30th. That's a Thursday. We still see the cold air in here, but you can see that trough is really shoved to the east. It is really becoming elongated, and we are seeing likely a cold front. I can't see. I can't see what I'm drawing here. Let's pick a better color. I think yellow is going to work really well on this one. Yeah, there we go. Cold front here, and that is pushing down. Okay, so we will watch this closely. Watch as we move on. The southeast ridge is just putting up a battle. It's trying to hold on for dear life. We're seeing this cold air kind of like this right now. Also very potent. It's like the battle of two giants at this point. Southeast ridge holding on. Here's a second cold front trying to push through. So we're seeing it break down. Okay, we're seeing that southeast ridge break down. And this cold air is just potent. This is I mean, I think at this point what we're seeing is a lot of the polar vortex is down in this region instead. So we're getting that energy much closer, and that's what's allowing these frequent blasts to just come in like a freight train to these regions. So this is the second time, and it really wins out on the second time. We see this cold front is now located here. Southeast ridge is up here. Maybe a line of thunderstorms in this area when this happens, by the way. When you see that cold air mixed with the warm air, you're always, always, always watching for that type of situation to play out. And then the cold finally arrives. Right at the end of the model run, again, that lowers our confidence. I've always talked about this. Another thing that lowers my confidence is we're seeing cold here and also here. And usually you don't see cold from coast to coast. Up in Canada as well, it's the same thing. And then we only have warm here. This would be an overwhelmingly cold pattern, which seems a little bullish, obviously, with the pattern we've had. So I'm watching closely for that. But in general, this is the next chance we have at a big pattern change. Here's how the final 5 days of that pattern would go. We could see that compared to the first 5 days, things were very much like this. In the final 5 days, you can see things are much more east-based. We do see the southeast still excluded there overall on the 5-day period, but it's much better than this period right here. Now here is our teleconnections. We're starting with our Arctic oscillation. Like, why is all this happening? That's mostly what I want to talk about here. We have a negative AO, which is good, and it looks to remain negative. The green line is the most important one. Now the blue line is what is considered to be our control line, and typically that's the less accurate line, but that does have me a little concerned because this is our neutral line, and it does go above that. A positive AO would spell less Arctic air becoming available, so we're going to need to watch for that as well. That would be really inconvenient if right when we see the pattern switch from west to east that the Arctic air becomes unavailable after it's been available the entire time it's been over the west. Classic stuff there if that does occur, by the way. I've seen things like that happen before. Here is our NAO here, and our NAO does a very similar thing. We typically see this one follow oftentimes. This does happen from time to time, but we do see this one follow the AO oftentimes, and you can see this one does something like this on the mean average line. The mean average is the most important. It stays negative overall. But this blue line, our control, it goes further negative around the first, second, through the fourth, but it shoots positive here on the long range compared to the mean one that just goes like this. So AO, NAO, it looks likely that they're going to stay negative, slightly negative, but there is some possibility that they go positive in the long range, which would be a negative thing for our potential cold and snow in the east at all. Now, our P&A, this has been the main driver of our pattern throughout the entire fall and the entire winter so far, and this has been strongly negative. Okay, we're looking at -5 here, -4, -3. Typically, you're only looking at a -1 or a 2, or a +1 or a 2. So somewhere, it usually stays somewhere between here. This is what's considered normal. This is what's considered to be, I would say, extreme, very extreme on the P&A chart here. So we have had extremely negative P&A for quite a while, and this is going to generally climb. And what happens is our negative P&A, so in this range, it favors cold in the west. The cold will be centered over the west, and up here in our positive, the cold usually will be centered in the east. Hope that makes sense. Or in other words, actually, this makes it a little bit easier. In a negative P&A, we're cold in the west, and in a positive phase, we're warm in the west. And usually the east sees the opposite of what the west is seeing. So when it's cold in the west, we see warm in the east, and that's what we've been seeing. That's why, because we've been in a negative P&A. Now this is going to shoot positive, shoot positive, shoot positive, and it keeps trending positive all the way to where it's almost neutral. So the more up towards neutral this goes, and it gets almost there at the end, as you can see, the more cold will be able to basically make its way into the east. And at a neutral, I would say anywhere in between a -1 and a +1, you're kind of seeing it go back and forth. It can go to the east and then the west, and east and west. It's in this strongly positive. If it was to make its way up to a +2, 3, 4, that's when you see a trough staying over the east for a prolonged period of time. This is going to be the main driver in our pattern, and it makes me optimistic that the trend here in the long range is up. Okay, so that is kind of making me optimistic about potential cold and snowiness in the east. Now, the one thing I will say, my confidence tab today is at a 2 out of 6. I am not feeling insanely confident today because we are talking about something that we haven't really seen seem super likely. Really, in my opinion, according to the models, it's all in the long range. And based on how things have gone, I feel like this is me being a little bit optimistic in this video. So my confidence is at a conservative 2 out of 6, and this will go up over time if the models continue to trend at this, if the teleconnections look better, etc. Because as of right now, the PNA still would be slightly negative. The AO and NAO are trending positive, so even though we have that PNA going our way, it's not great yet. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Little the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kutalesa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Colisi also. I would also like to thank our channel members here: Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox also. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.